final reader tonight is Jim Daniels. Jim is a native of Detroit, which he's used as a setting for much of his work. As the Thomas Stockham Baker Professor of English at Carnegie Mellon University, he teaches creative writing. In addition to poetry, he's also published short stories and screenplays and has produced 3 now of his screenplays, yes, as movies. His book, Show and Tell, New and Selected Poems of 2003, collects a couple of decades of work, including his sardonic poem, The Tenured Guy, which should be required reading for anyone in academia. And you'll be interested to know that in his 12th collection of poetry, which is just now coming out, entitled Having a Little Talk with Capital P Poetry, he includes a whole section, about 20 pages of poems about the tenured guy, one of which I see begins with the phrase, "I once attended a meeting about an ampersand." It goes on from there. Jim is publishing this year again his 4th collection of short stories, Trigger Man. In addition in collaboration with photographer Charlie Brodsky and writer Jane McCafferty, he published From Milltown to Malltown last year, a portrayal of contemporary Homestead, Pennsylvania. An earlier photographic collaboration with Charlie Brodsky, Street, in 2005, was awarded the Tilly Olson Prize from the Working Class Studies Association. Jim's work has been included in dozens of periodicals, including Gettysburg Review, Paris Review, Iowa Review, Kenyon Review, Prairie Schooner, and most recently in the Patterson Literary Review. Jim's poems have been featured on Writer's Almanac and in American Life and Poetry. His poem, Factory Love, is imprinted on the roof of race car driver Alex Graybow's Mitsubishi. Jim Daniels.
Thanks. It's a real honor to be part of this wonderful program with these posters and to be reading with these wonderful poets here tonight. Being last has certain advantages, and so while I was sitting there, I kept connecting to the fine work by these other poets, so I thought I would read poems. So in other words, I just changed my whole order and sequence, so we'll see how it goes. But poems that kind of are responding to things that I heard in their poems. So Tim read that poem. He mentioned people not knowing who the Temptations are, but he also mentioned James Brown in there. I assume you all know who James Brown is, just like we know who the Temptations are. So I have a series of poems in this book that are all music related. They're called Esperanto poems, and the idea is that I'm trying to capture in words what there is about music that can't be put into words. So you can see how that went. But anyway, this is called James Brown Esperanto, and the epigraph is "Please, please, please," which is a James Brown song. James Brown crying "please" 26 times in that song. Each time italics and boldface and underline and superscript and hieroglyphics and cave drawings and smoke signals. The ache of your leaving, the missing tooth of despair, the smashed headlights of future fog rolling in, empty trellis, sweet scent of miraged roses, torn paper of bad erasure, stench of bus grief, diesel sweat, burned cloth, guitar string, strangulation, wrong tree cut down, no putting it back, stump rotting in its own sweet time, despite 26 pleases. Your face in the bus window crumbling. Out here, words on their knees. And Robert read the poem set in an emergency room, and I couldn't help but think of this poem, which is for my brother, Mike, who was in a bad motorcycle accident. And it happened in Saginaw, Michigan, about an hour and a half north. And so I went home from Pittsburgh to help with my brother, but also to drive my parents back and forth to the hospital every day. And I spent a lot of time with my father on those drives, and so this is a poem about my brother, but also my father. It's called Bag of Clothes. The hospital gave my father a bag containing the clothes they cut off my brother so they could get to him, wire him up, sew him up, pump him up full of air, air, air. We're driving to, or maybe home from the hospital, the hour and a half each way to Saginaw past Crapo Street, and that joke got old days ago. And my father says, out of the thick hospital silence that clouds us everywhere, they gave me his leather vest and jeans. The words hang like, my father keeps adjusting the air conditioning and blowers. He's driving or I'm driving. We take turns, and he says, after letting it hang, dangle, droop, says, I threw them out. My brother's alive, slashing at the underbrush with his machete to rejoin us here in the world. We rejoice over his first word, bathroom, like first-time parents. He said bathroom. Did you hear him say bathroom? I heard him say bathroom. I think my father wanted to say something about the clothes, to see if I knew some protocol for their disposition. His son, my brother, age 53. My father doesn't like to run the air. It cuts down on mileage. He turns it off. He turns it on. It's hot. Leave it on. But I say nothing. My father can't stop talking to his son who understands him. We both want my brother to return from his trip without souvenirs or foreign currency. Bloody clothes, naked bodies slapped on the slab, a frenzied swarm trying to save him. Did he put the bag inside another bag? Did he take it out with the trash? Or did he drop it in a green barrel at rest area number 1 or number 2 between Detroit and Saginaw? I'm guessing the barrel option, and some weird guilt giving him hot or cold flashes. I'm guessing, and we're talking about what? Not Crapo Street again. We've never ridden in a helicopter. Steam rises off the road after the briefest of rains. No respite. If it would only just rain, he says. The rending of garments, the reliance on medical personnel. Do we have enough gas to get home? He plays some strange mixtape my brother gave him that combines country music with the Irish tenors. The vest, the jeans. It loops endlessly till one of us shuts it off. Now, for Todd, I could either read another poem about suicide or one about animals pissing and having sex and stuff. So I think we'll go with that one. This is one called Dogs Do It. They wear each other's underwear. They solve disputes with long, thoughtful coin flips. They hold no grudges or blood-stained sheets. They think symmetry was invented by a mad scientist with a messiah complex. They circle the block with endless expectation and a complete lack of memory. They bury things. They write each other liquid love notes. They pluck acoustic guitars. They answer the phone when they feel like it. They make do. They gnaw on bones and tender mercies. They get stuck. They get unstuck. They slurp water like nobody's business. They shake their whole bodies when wet in a glorious dance we who have lost our fur are unable to replicate. Their only form of prayer is to roll over in dead things. They translate everything into dog, a language with no words. They let us watch their dreams. And I will finish with the poem on the poster. And again, thank you all on behalf of the poets for coming out here tonight. This is called My Beautiful Thing. It's for my son, who's now a teenager, but this is back further. Beautiful thing. My first child collects snail shells under a sun the color of the shirt before the blood, rinsing them like a priest washing his hands before the miracle. He raises each white shell for me to admire. I wash my face with his soft skin, the wetness and the glow. He is a pure guitar string echoing in the shell of the hollow body where someone once lived, then left this beautiful thing, imagine the sound. Thanks.